All right, so let's get into this now, huh? News. What's newsworthy? So the Briscoes are going to be the first people to enter the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. That's awesome. Ring of Honor is doing a Hall of Fame now. They're going to announce more people as we go on until I don't know when the Hall of Fame ceremony is. I think they said sometime in March is the Hall of Fame ceremony. But the Briscoes were announced as the very first inductees, which is awesome. Because, I mean, I think when you think of a tag team in ROH, the Briscoes are one of, like, the top ones you think of. So then this past week's episode of Ring of Honor was entirely all about the Briscoes. It showed, like, highlights, like, all their title wins. It showed Jay Briscoe's 2 world title wins, and then they showed 2 matches. The first match was Amazing Red and AJ Styles defending the ROH tag titles against the Briscoes from 2003. And then it showed the Briscoes versus Cody Rhodes and Hangman Page from Global Wars 2018. Both those matches were very good. And that was pretty much the episode of Ring of Honor. It was pretty much just a Briscoe showcase thing, right? So, the Briscoes, first members to enter ROH Hall of Fame. I am excited for them. Then we have some news here. Brian Kendrick was granted his release. And shortly after that, it was announced on AEW that he would be showing up on AEW Dynamite and would wrestle Jon Moxley. However, like everything, people posted old footage of Brian Kendrick online of him saying horrible things, and they pulled him from it, and that was it for Brian. I bet he's wishing now he didn't get his release. Big news here. Shane McMahon has reportedly been fired from WWE. The word terminology is Vince let him go. So, yeah, apparently Shane was causing a ruckus backstage at the Royal Rumble and was trying to make the whole thing all about him. And then Vince just went, I can't deal with this, you're gone. So, there's been plenty of jokes recently. The people like, Shane McMahon is all elite. He's going to show up on Dynamite, which, I mean, that'd be funny. I can't imagine if that happens. But yeah, wow. No one is safe in this company. Vince has fired his own son. Some 2K news. Not much. Just another match for the Rey Mysterio 2K Showcase, which is his match against Kane from Cyber Sunday 2008. Has also been announced. So we're getting a Cyber Sunday Arena, which is my big takeaway from this. Some Sword Art news. Sword Art Online Volume 4 audiobook is coming out on February 22nd. I am greatly excited. I love the audiobooks. They're great. And then some other news. This week on AEW, Tony Khan is announcing a new signee, and that signee will then participate in a Face of the Revolution qualifying match against Isaiah Cassidy. Who that could be, there's multiple people now, because a lot of the people from WWE's most recent batch of releases are now free agents. Their 90 days have come up. So people like Killer Cross, Keith Lee are free agents now. They can wrestle wherever. And the big one everyone's thinking is, let me guess, it's Keith Lee. And that's pretty much what I think too. Keith Lee's probably the guy who is coming to AEW. And now we move on to the biggest bit of news, some Doctor Who news, which is the announcement of a new release. Doctor Who Unbound is getting a new release. Heard me right. Doctor Who Unbound. Can't freaking believe it. After so many years, Doctor Who Unbound is getting a new release. And boy, is it a doozy. So, it's going to be 2 box sets. This one story is going to go over 2 box sets. This is, of course, Doctor Who Unbound is basically Doctor Who's version of What If, where it has what if this happened with the Doctor, and it has other actors playing a different version of the Doctor. right? For this one, it's much different. This is what if the Fourth Doctor destroyed the Daleks in Genesis of the Daleks. And what this causes is it causes the Time War to happen earlier. So in this new timeline, the Sixth Doctor is the War Doctor. The Sixth Doctor is the one that fights in the Time War and is called the Warrior. So Colin Baker is in this, and he is going to be playing the new War Doctor, the Warrior, who is also the Sixth Doctor. This is crazy. So it says here that the first box set is called Doctor Who Unbound, Doctor of War is what this series is called. The first one is called Genesis. The second one is called Destiny. So in this box set, I'm reading the press release. It says we go to Doctor Who Unbound. Here, number 1. Genesis. It comes out April 22nd is when Genesis comes out. And Destiny comes out... when does Destiny come out? September. So they both come out this year. So, here is what it says. It says, times have changed. A choice was made and the universe diverged. And now all of history is at war. One man stands at the center of it all. But whose side is he on? Is he with the angels or the demons? And does anyone even know which is which? He was a doctor once, but he's the doctor no more. He's the warrior, the doctor of war. This is awesome. So we have 3 stories announced for the first box set, which is Dust Devil by John Dorney. It says, the TARDIS crew are on the run, pursued by an unstoppable force, but who is hunting them and why? Will they find answers on Aridus or just more questions? The second one is called Aftershocks by Lou Morgan, which says, the ripples are spreading out. The warrior is on trial. Or is he? No one's willing to tell him what his crime is, so how can he know if he's guilty? And who is trying him anyway? And then the final story is called The Different Office by James Kettle. The warrior is president of the Time Lords and suffering from visions. Is he the right man to combat an invasion? Because there's someone out there in the wilderness of Gallifrey, someone with the warrior's face, and he's heading for the capital. Now, that all sounds great. Backstage, if we look at the backstage stuff, we got nothing other than just pictures of Colin and Nicola, and then the cast list, which is Colin Baker as the alternate War Doctor. We have Jeffrey Beavers as the Master, Nicola Bryant as Perry, and Rebecca Knight as Romana. She's playing Romana. I need to check Miss Rebecca Knight if she has played Romana in anything before, or if this is her first thing. She's been in other things, but not as Romana. She was in a 5th Doctor story called Masquerade. Who did she play in that? Was it Romana? It was not Romana. So, she's playing Romana in this. So, I'm assuming, obviously, she's going to be playing a different incarnation of Romana. Maybe Romana 5? No, wait. Romana 4. She'd be Romana 4 because Big Finish already cast Romana 3. So this would be, what, the 4th Romana? Yeah. And that's that. If we go to the second one, Destiny, it doesn't have really anything. It just has when it's available. And the cast is just Colin Baker as the Doctor. So yeah, that is what we got here. Will I be getting it is I think the question. It does intrigue me. I've gotten no Doctor Who Unbound stuff at all because again, they're just like alternate timelines is what they're meant to be, like what ifs. So I never really went into them. But I might now because that does sound pretty cool. I don't know when I'd get them. They're both $17, both the sets. While the other Doctor Who Unbound stuff is $3, the $2.99, so they're really cheap. But again, they're all like single stories. Those are box sets. So, I guess it makes sense for why they're more expensive. So, I want to look at a lot of the other Doctor Who Unbound stuff while we're here. So the first one is called Mortality. It was written by Mark Platt, released in May 23rd, released in May 2003. So I wasn't even born yet. This is what if the Doctor and Susan never left Gallifrey. That sounds intriguing. The Doctor in this one is played by Jeffrey Baildon, and I know he was considered to play the Doctor in the original series. So he plays this alternate first Doctor. The second story is called Sympathy for the Devil. Released in June 2003, it was written by Jonathan Clements, and David Warner is an alternate third Doctor. It's what if the Doctor had not been UNIT's scientific advisor. I believe Sam Giscard, who is Mark Gatiss, is in this as an alternate master as well. And David Tennant's in this one too, playing the Brigadier's replacement, because the Brigadier, I believe in this one, is like ashamed. Or no, not ashamed, disgraced. The next one is July 2003, Full Fathom 5, written by David Bishop. This one, I believe, this one just says what if. I think this one is just what if the Doctor, like, the ends justified the means? Like, what if he's just a vicious Doctor who just, the greater good is essentially what he was doing? The Doctor in this one is played by David Collings. He Just at Scars is the next one from Unbound. Was August 2003, written by Gary Russell. This one, I believe, is what if the Valeyard won in Trial of a Time Lord, and he got the Doctor's remaining regenerations. So that one. Also, that one could interest me too. Mel's in that one too. The next one is Deadline, written by Robert Sherman. This one isn't even like a Doctor Who one. This is just what if Doctor Who was never written. It's like, what if the guy who came up with the idea for Doctor Who, this guy called Martin, who's played by Derek Jacobi, it's like, what if he never made Doctor Who? Exile, written by Nicholas Briggs. This one I hear awful things about. It's, what if the second Doctor escaped, like, the judgment of the Time Lords and committed suicide, essentially. The second Doctor commits suicide and regenerates into a female incarnation, played by Arabella Weir. I hear this story is awful. So, yeah. That one doesn't even interest me at all. The next one is Storm of Angels. This was January 2005, written by Mark Platt. It's a sequel to All Morality. This is what if the Doctor really had changed history. So this is a sequel to All Mortality. And then the last one for so many years was Masters of War, a sequel to the Sympathy for the Devil, with David Warner as the alternate third Doctor, written by Eddie Robson. It's a sequel, and it's got Davros in it. So that's cool. But yeah, that is Doctor Who Unbound. Just looking at them, which ones interest me? Like, which ones would I get? I obviously get with the Doctor of War stuff with Colin, but then any of the other ones, All Mortality, I might get. Sympathy for the Devil, I might get. That one does interest me. He Just at Scars interests me. Full Fathom 5 is a bit, I don't know, I'm iffy on that one. Deadline, I'm iffy on that one. Exile, I'm never getting. A Storm of Angels depends on if I like All Mortality. Same thing with Masters of War, depends. Do I like the first one? So definitely the first and second and fourth ones, absolutely. Full Fathom 5, I don't know about that one. I might need a bit more persuasion. But definitely also the Doctor of War stuff too. That's also really cool. Yeah, but that's it for Doctor Who Unbound. Checking the time here. We've gone for quite a while now. So that's it. That's gonna be where I'm gonna end it here. I think the only other thing I need to say is Sword Art Online Season 4 is on Netflix. Let's go!